I've put together a list of the 10 best things I have ever freeze-dried. I looked back on my past year and there were so many things that I freeze-dried that I totally forgot about that I was obsessed with. So if you're in a freeze-drying slump or just looking for some new ideas of things to freeze-dry, this is your video. I think a few times throughout this year I have called the food that I freeze-dried my favorite thing ever. But when I looked back, I did decide on a new #1 freeze-dried food item, and it might surprise you. It's one that I had totally forgotten about. So let's dive right in. One of my biggest accomplishments this year was when I perfected freeze-drying pickles. I love pickles, and so I was so glad that these turned out. Here's how they looked. Let's pull these out, shall we? My first impression on the pickles is they look amazing to the eye. It smells very pickly in here. If you make pickles in your freeze dryer, prepare for an aroma of pickles. It's not too overpowering, but you can smell it. I am super impressed with how well they kept their shape. I mean, they are light as air, definitely dried very nicely. These ones look amazing, and these were the ones that I said were my favorite, but now are they gonna hold up to the taste? I'm really nervous. I just have really high hopes. I am starting with my favorite type of pickle because if any of them are gonna be good, it's gonna be this one. Here we go. First of all, I'm not gagging. Second of all, that was so good. I'm not even kidding. Okay, I gotta do another one. We did it. We did it. I have full-length videos for each of these items on my top 10 list that I will have linked in the video description down below. So if you want an in-depth how-to on how to make all of these foods, go there and you can watch the whole video on how I did everything. #9 was a new soup that I perfected in the freeze dryer, which was a homemade roasted tomato soup. It was top tier, so delicious, way better than any canned soup you can buy in the grocery store. And it can sit on your shelf for 25 years. I'm obsessed. Here's how that tomato soup looked. So 31 hours, it's gotta be done. Here's how it looks out of the freeze dryer. I was doing a little pokies to it just to kind of feel the texture. It's definitely gonna need some scraping to get out of here, but I'm just gonna use my food funnel and get it into how I'm gonna package it up. To package these up, I am doing them in individual portions. Well, in 4 portions. That's gonna be about 2 servings each. I'm throwing them in Mylar bags because I just wanna throw these in my prepper stash and then be able to use them whenever I want to. And then I know they're gonna be nice and fresh for long-term storage that way. Let's get going. I'm also not gonna forget to weigh my trays again so that I know how much water I need to add back. I've got my food funnel set up, and so now we just need to scrape the soup into the jar. That amount filled up this bag pretty good. If you wanted to go the extra step and powder this down, you could, and it would take up way less space. I'm not worried about powdering it down because I'm just gonna use 4 bags, so it's fine. I'm gonna toss in a couple Oxy Absorbees. And we're good to go. Well, almost. I gotta heat seal the top and label the bag. I made sure to add the amount of water to add to my bag, which was right around 500 grams. So I put that on here so I know exactly how much water to add for the perfect homemade tomato soup. I have 2 fruits on my top 10 list this year, and at #8, I put watermelon. I freeze-dried watermelon for the first time. It was so good. It's a hard one to get right because they are so moist and the seeds in there, it's a more complicated fruit to freeze dry, but it tasted so good freeze dried. They were next level delicious. Here's how those turned out. I mean, there's the watermelon, yellow, the cantaloupe, and the plums. It looks so good. These are like the prettiest colors ever. This is the plum. I mean, it breaks right in half. The cantaloupe feels very dry. the yellow watermelon and the regular watermelon. Time to taste test. Watermelon number 1. Holy cow. It just like melts in your mouth and disintegrates. This is so good. That's a home run. That is amazing. And it doesn't seem like they stick together too badly. I was wondering if I was to like stack a bunch of these on top of each other, if they were gonna stick together or not. But I think they would be okay. If you like loaded this up with watermelon, I think it would be fine. These are so good. I mean, I could make this disappear in a second. Coming in at number 7 was a new dessert that I made in the freeze dryer, and they were pumpkin spice pudding bites. They were so good and turned out so beautifully. Here they are. These have been in here for 30 hours. I think they were done around the like 20-hour mark though, I wanna say. I don't know, but let's get these out. Here is how they look. I feel like they've puffed up a little bit, so that's kind of fun. Here is how they are looking. They feel very nice and light and airy. I cannot wait to try these. Let's give them a taste. All right, here we go. Wow. I'm amazed. They're like the perfect amount of crunch on the inside. You can see the airiness of it in there. It's like airy and crunchy at the same time. It's like the most perfect texture you could ask for. The number 6 food on my list was not a new food to me this year, but something that I use literally every single day. Well, okay, every day that I am cooking a homemade meal, which is my garlic powder and onion powder. I put them in these big jars, and they have held up so well. They are still completely bone dry. I use them to season everything, and the flavor is just so much more stronger. It's a more true flavor and just so good. So much better than the stuff from the grocery store. If you have not made garlic or onion powder in your freeze dryer, do it. Forewarning, it's gonna stink up your house. That's my warning, but it's worth it. Here's how that looks. I want to stop real quick and show you the texture of this. It's like much harder than I was expecting. A lot of times when I'm doing like powdery things, it's very brittle and fragile. This is like a dense styrofoam texture. Like, it's hard. I'm just kind of surprised. Here's my 2 jars of garlic that are ready to go upstairs to go into the blender. Here's the onion. It seems a little less fragile. I mean, a little more fragile than the garlic, but I don't know. I cannot believe how much garlic powder this made. I thought for sure it would fit in one of those other mason jars, but no. I actually have 32 ounces of garlic powder in here. It's kind of amazing. And it smells so good, so much more fresh than like the garlic powder that I get at Walmart. This is so much better. I'm so excited to have this now. Okay, it fit. This was amazing. Just gonna wipe the rim off, vacuum seal the top, and we got all this onion powder. I'm so excited. And my onion powder is done. I can't believe we're halfway done. Number 5 was a new fruit to me that I did this year, which was kiwi. I did the golden kiwi, and those tasted so good. It tasted like sour candy after they were freeze dried. Like, if you like sour, make freeze dried kiwi. Also, maybe my kiwi already was on the sour side. Maybe it needed to be a little more ripe. I don't know, but it was so good. It tasted like candy. It's so good if you put it in like a fruit dip. Perfection. Here's the kiwi. I am so excited for this. I hope it's great. This is, let's see, sticking pretty well. I'm glad I used my liner because you kind of got to pry it off. They feel like dry to the bone, solid. I was a little worried these were going to end up like fragile because of how soft they were when I was cutting them up, but they seem like they're good. I can't wait to try it. Now, if you had them stacked on top of each other, I think they would stick because these are like very stuck together, the ones that are touching. So I think if you tried to pile them on top of each other, that might cause an issue. I don't know though. If you've tried it, let me know. Are we ready to take a bite? Let's do this. Wow. It's almost like sour candy. I think the freeze drying really intensified the flavor. And I mean, that got my mouth watering from how sour it was. I mean, maybe that was just a sour kiwi. Let's try another one. The texture is amazing. It reminds me of like a cross between a pineapple and an apple. I don't know, kind of similar to more of the pineapple texture. This one's not quite as sour. So maybe that piece that I had was just more of a sour kiwi itself. Wasn't quite as ripe. I don't know. But you guys, this is so good. These rounds are, okay, nope, the sour's hitting me. It's not a bad thing. It's like an amazing thing, but just be warned. The kiwi flavor will intensify. All right, so I've got my nice big mason jar of kiwi available for me to use. And then I've got my big bag of kiwi slices that I can take with us on our camping trip. And I just had a few left over, so I stuck them in this bag. Coming in at number 4 is a candy, which I did not do much candy this year. I did do candy for my garage sale way in the spring, which feels like forever ago. But a new candy are the freeze-dried candy canes. In fact, I have a bag right here. I made some of them into these cute little hearts. I gave some of these away for Christmas gifts this year, and they're just so cute. Here is how the candy canes turned out. Wouldn't that be so cute to throw on top of a cup of hot chocolate and to just eat? I've got to try it. This is amazing. I'm not even kidding. It melts right in your mouth. It's soft. You can chew right through it. This is the only way to eat a candy cane. So much better than the sticky, slobbery mess that a real candy cane is. I think I'm forever changed. These are so good. This might be one of my new favorite freeze-dried candies. If you like peppermint, oh, these are so good. I can't believe it. We've made it to the top 3. This one was another new food to me. I freeze-dried sourdough bread crumbs and turned them into a shelf-stable panko breadcrumb that I can then go to use whenever I'm making like a meatloaf or meatballs. I never have breadcrumbs on hand, and I don't always just have breadcrumbs like in the freezer or ready to go. So it's so nice I was able to get these just into a jar and onto my pantry shelf, and they're so good. Homemade, no added preservatives, no added junk, nothing, just your own homemade bread turned into a dried breadcrumb. It's perfection. Here's how those turned out. I can't wait to see the texture of these breadcrumbs and how they turned out. Here we go. You guys, they're perfect. They feel like panko breadcrumbs, and they even have that like thicker texture of panko. You know that normal, just plain breadcrumbs that you get at Walmart? It's like a fine powder. And we saw the ingredients. They're full of junk. This is more textured like the panko, which are like a fried dried breadcrumb, right? I think so. Anyway, I like a chunkier breadcrumb when I do like meatloafs and stuff like that. So this is gonna be perfect. I'm so excited. To package these up, I want to store these in mason jars, and I'm just gonna vacuum seal the top. And then anytime I go to use it, I will just scoop out what I need and then re-vacuum seal the top every time. It's really like super easy. And just like that, we've got 2 huge jars of sourdough breadcrumbs. Now I can say I make sourdough meatloaf. Because I mean, I love turning everything into something sourdough, like sourdough baked goods like cookies, sourdough pancakes, sourdough waffles, obviously sourdough bread. I've not made sourdough cinnamon rolls yet. I've been wanting to try because that sounds delicious. But now we got sourdough meatloaf. So, I mean, that's kind of fun. Okay. Number 2 and number 1 are honestly like neck and neck. This is hard for me to pick a true winner. Okay, so I changed my mind on my favorite. I don't know, I'm going back and forth. It doesn't matter. They're both amazing. So number 2, I am putting in my chocolate covered freeze-dried strawberries. I completely forgot that I made these way earlier in the year and they turned out so delicious. I did learn a few things after making them because when I made them, I left some of the strawberry exposed and that caused them to go soft pretty quickly. So next time, if you make freeze-dried chocolate covered strawberries, freeze dry your strawberry and then submerge the whole slice of strawberry into chocolate so that no strawberry is exposed. And then they will stay fresh and dry on the inside a lot longer. It was perfection. If you haven't made these and you're looking for something fun and exciting to do, try these. Here's how they turned out. These are looking so good. I think are gonna be the perfect size to dip in chocolate and have a yummy chocolate covered strawberry. That's gonna last, I feel like, much longer than a fresh strawberry would. I'm just gonna package these up in a jar and take them upstairs to my kitchen. I'm going to stick a skewer in the end of my strawberry, dip it, oh, it's falling off. Let's see if this is gonna work. Dip it in the chocolate. Okay. Make sure it's nice and coated all around. Gonna let the excess drip. I think it worked. Okay. And I'm gonna put it on my parchment. How did we do? I don't want it to pool too much in the back, so I might try, I don't know what to try. Maybe scrape a little off the edge of the side that I'm gonna lay down, but I don't know, we'll see. But I think it looks beautiful. So this took me about 20 minutes, not too bad. I learned a couple of things. A few of my large strawberries were still moist on the inside. They weren't fully dried, which I'm not doing this to preserve them. I'm doing this just for a fun dessert, so I'm not too worried about that. But I did realize that it would be better to have the smaller strawberries because then you can just pop the whole thing in your mouth and it's a bite-sized treat. The larger ones, having to bite into the dried strawberry might not be the most pleasant texture. I don't know, maybe it'll be fine, but I started to pick out just the small ones and finished off with the littler ones that are gonna be more bite-sized. I thought that would be better. I need to just let these set up in a cool environment. I'm gonna put them on my back porch. It's like 30 degrees out there. It's looking to me like the chocolate has set up nicely on our strawberries. Let's go check them out. Here we have an up-close view of our strawberries. The chocolate set up beautifully, like silky, smooth beauty. I think that's because of the coconut oil. I mean, they just turned out so nice. I hope they taste as good. Are we ready for the most exciting taste test ever? Wow. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but this might be one of my favorite things I've ever made. You get the intense flavor of the freeze-dried strawberry, the crunch of the freeze-dried strawberry, with the delicious semi-sweet chocolate coating. So picture chocolate-covered strawberry, but more intense strawberry flavor with a fun, crunchy texture. This is so good. Before I reveal my #1 freeze-dried food, I wanna let you know Harvest Right freeze dryers are still on sale for Black Friday through the end of December. So if you have decided you want a freeze dryer for a last minute Christmas gift, check my link in the video description down below. They are offering their biggest discounts that they do all year, and there is still time to give a loved one a freeze dryer for Christmas. I have a size medium. If you got any questions about it, let me know in the comments. Number 1, are we ready? The freeze-dried caramel apples. Those were so good. I can't even get over how delicious they tasted. I love a freeze-dried apple so much, but then when you have it drizzled in freeze-dried caramel, it just took it up a level. And they turned out so well. I get lots of questions on the type of caramel that I used. I used the caramel baking bits that you get in the baking aisle at the grocery store. They're those tiny little balls. And I made the caramel according to the package directions. Melted it in a pan with, you had to add a few tablespoons of water. And then I put it into a piping bag and just drizzled it over the top of an apple, fresh apples. And then I freeze dried everything together. And here's how they turned out. But these look amazing, like literally everything I was dreaming of, and I can't wait to show you. Here's a little sneaky peek from the door of the freeze dryer, and I'm happy to say I don't see any explosions. All right, moment of truth. I couldn't have asked these to turn out any better. I am so thrilled. I mean, look at this. It is a perfect little caramel apple. It's sticking together. I was worried it might slip off the apple. It's not. It feels light as air. I cannot wait to try this. Well, I think I gotta be the first one to try this. Okay, ready. I'm just gonna put the whole thing in my mouth. That is so good. I'm obsessed. It tastes like, kind of like those caramel apple pops that you get, but in a more like light and airy way, because the apple is tart, but not too sweet. The caramel is just like the right caramel flavor. You guys, okay, I gotta have another one. I'm amazed. I'm not the biggest fan of freeze-dried treats when it comes to like ice cream or pies, things like that, just because I don't love the texture of it once it's freeze-dried. But this is like 2 of my favorite things. Freeze-dried fruit and freeze-dried caramels mixed together. This is so good. If you made any of these items from my top 10 list this year, let me know in the comments down below. Also, you can share with me what your favorite freeze-dried food was that you freeze-dried in 2025, because I would love some new ideas for next year. I can't believe we're already to the new year, like in a week from now. Holy moly. What is happening? Where is the time going? I don't know, but I got big plans for next year. I am so excited. So thank you all so much for being here. I've got new cards to hang up on my wall. I've been loving getting cards from all of you, so thank you so much for sending them in. I first had Julie in Arkansas and Joe and Cora just up the street from me in Wasilla, Alaska. Thank you for your card. We have the Puckett family in Kentucky. Got a beautiful card from Wisconsin. Roger and Sandy in Indiana. Janelle in my home state of Arizona. Louisa and Ron in Texas. And congratulations on your retirement from the Coast Guard. What a huge accomplishment. Karen and Brian in Georgia. Kathy in Nevada. And thank you for the beautiful ornament. Thank you, David and Carol in Louisiana. Lily in Missouri. Thank you so much. That was so kind and thoughtful. And I hope you make it to Alaska soon. Greg and Diane in Georgia. Thank you. This looks like Alaska. And thank you, Bar family. This is so beautiful. And thank you, Bar family in Utah. This is so beautiful. Here is a look of the card wall. This makes me so happy. I am so grateful for every single one of you. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel if it wasn't for you guys. So again, just thank you for being here. Thank you for the support and for all the love you show me. You really are the best. And remember, when you freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow. Bye, friends.